You're not necessarily buying for synergy or anything like that, as much as you're buying to be in different markets that you're not in already.
You want to get bigger. You want scale.
And right now, with these Obamacare subsidies protected by the court yesterday, that means that those millions of new customers are going to continue to come in and buy coverage with financial help from the government. You want to be in those markets where they're out shopping and capture those new customers.
A key element in the Affordable Health Care Plan was always choice, and we've all seen how that's worked out. While there were certainly some choices in Obamacare, it's nowhere near what was promised nor even what was hoped for. And with one announcement from two health insurance companies, those choices are about to be slashed yet again in a move dictated by Obamacare, and likely even welcomed by those who will be lining their pockets with a lot more of your hard-earned money. Don't you feel better? For once, your medical appointment begins right on time. Let's welcome back the Newsmax Deputy Health Editor, co-author of the must-have book, The Da Vinci Baby Boomer Survival Guide. Nick Tate is back in the house. Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to be here, Ed.
Here we go. We knew this was coming sooner or later. Let's see. Right. We have Aetna and Humana. Aetna's buying Humana.
Right.
Let's see. Center Corp, regarding Medicaid coverage provider, they're going to buy HealthNet. And then we have, let's see here. we have one more that I wanted to mention, and that's, I don't have it. But there is another one sitting. Aetna and Cigna are in merger talks.
Right.
You're eventually going to get down to one or two companies, and that's it.
Well, what's happening is the federal funding for these insurance subsidies is guaranteeing that these companies will continue to thrive and grow under Obamacare. The bad news is that they're trying to move into markets where they haven't been before. So where this urge to merge has happened, we've seen it in other industries, certainly in media, phone services, and cable television. We're starting to see it in healthcare, and if you believe that this will lead to greater choice and lower costs, then I would encourage you to look at what happened with those other industries that consolidated too. The truth is it's going to cost us a lot more, and already is.
I got a bridge over the East River in Manhattan that I'd like to sell you as well, if that's the case, all right? So I mentioned the Affordable Health Care Act. How is this then responsible for driving all this? There's got to be a linchpin here.
Well, there are two things. There's nothing in the law that prevents health insurers from passing on the increased costs of their care to individual consumers. So they charge whatever they need to balance their books. That's number one. Number two, there's the guarantee of health insurance subsidies for those people who can't buy it. And there's a law that says you must buy insurance or pay a fine, every American in the country. And if you are a company that has 50 or more employees, you must provide it. So big win-win-win for those insurance industries. So that's why this is happening. But there's another factor here too, and that is that in many of the states, the insurers are now saying, well, we've had a first look at the total data for people who've signed up for Obamacare in the last year, the last 2 years, and we're finding that it's costing us more than we thought.
Because people are sicker and older.
Because most of the people who've signed up are in that older range where they have chronic health conditions, and not enough younger people have signed up. So just this week, the federal and the state insurance departments in many parts of the country have put the first request that we've seen from insurers, and we're looking at eye-popping proposals for rate increases for next year.
Talk to me about those.
I've got a list here. Minnesota, 54%, the average price increase for the market insurance leader. Oklahoma and Tennessee, 31 to 36%. Illinois, North Carolina, 23 to 25%. Now, what happened is in the first couple years of Obamacare, there was a kind of hold down on those costs. Prices only went up, premiums every year only went up by about 3.5% to 4.5%. But now that we have the real data, and insurance companies are saying this is what we have to do to pay out our claims, those rates are going to be double-digit in many states. And even though the insurance subsidies were guaranteed by the Supreme Court decision, they're likely to be overwhelmed by these increases in the next year or two.
So good. About 90 seconds left here. Let's go back to that graphic that we just had up.
Right.
Because this is talking about what the consumer can do right now. Because frankly, if you're most consumers, you're looking at this going, my hands are tied. There's really nothing I can do.
That's right. We can hope that Congress gets its act together and pushes for real repeal or reform of Obamacare. But in the meantime, if you weren't a savvy consumer in terms of your health care before, you need to be now. This open enrollment period in November is going to be critical for picking a good plan. You need to understand how to define and calculate premiums, deductibles, copays, and coinsurance, which are the four key elements of insurance. Take advantage of insurance prevention and wellness programs, and talk to your doctor about things like cost-cutting, pill splitting, drug assistance programs that you may qualify for. And as we say almost always on this program, the best interaction with health health care is no interaction with the healthcare system. Live a healthy lifestyle. Costs a lot less to really, go eat a healthier diet, join a health club, than have to go in for double bypass heart surgery or pay for diabetes or cancer care.
People need to understand that you can no longer sit back, click off a box, and just take it. You now have to dig into, if there's 60 pages of material, unfortunately, you've got to dig through 60 pages of material to find out what's there.
It's not that hard. You just have to spend the time to do it, just like with financial investing for your retirement future. Just like any investment you make, buying a house, buying a car, put the same amount of time into picking your health plan as buying your next car. You'll be better off.
And we just want to go ahead and point out that if you want to do that and want to find out a little bit more, Nick Tate, along with Barbara Rockefeller, co-authors of the Da Vinci Baby Boomer Survival Guide, which will give you an awful lot of information on how to get ready for those years and also how to do a little bit better at going after your health care plans on a regular basis. Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next time.
My
All
pleasure.
right. Don't forget, sometimes you need intelligence. Sometimes you need smarts. And a lot of times you have to make sure that you're not apathetic about all of this. We'll draw this all to conclusions when we come back right here on MidPoint.